voice of the Sacramento Kings, Mark Jones. The Sacramento Kings, you hear him all over ESPN. Joining us now. Mark, how's it going, man?
Outstanding, man. Enjoying this time of the summer. I get a chance to really be a fan and plan my days around the playoff games and now the finals. And when the NBA is not on, enjoying watching the WNBA. And it's a good time to just kind of exhale a little bit, get out and watch some guys work out in and around the city of Miami, different gyms, a bunch of NBA players, a couple of our own guys. So, yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It looks like tonight might be our last NBA game. Not sure how many more we're going to get.
Sure is trending that way. That way. And I'm thinking Minnesota's got to be kicking themselves right now. I get the feeling that they've exhaled a little bit too much after beating Denver. You know, that 20-point comeback, Game 7 on the road. And before they knew it, they were down 2-0 against Dallas, and it was over. But, Boston proved during the regular season they're the best team in the NBA. And, I think Dallas's problems are, this is not a newsflash, exacerbated by the fact that, you got a couple of weak links defensively, and they've got 5 guys, the Celtics, that force you to guard them all the way out to the 3-point line. There's no Gobert, there's no Josh Giddey, there's nobody that they can cheat off of, and that's why you've had, the uproar of late too about Luka's defense.
When you talk about the uproar over Luka's defense, were you taken aback a little bit by Wendy? I know he's a colleague and everything else, but yeah. I thought that the moment, the stage, it was like, whoa, that's coming in hot, and I was okay. I think everything he said was honest and truthful, and it's something that we say on the radio all the time, but just where it was, the timing and everything else, it was a bit jarring.
Yeah, you know what? Because it's on the final stage, I think if more people, James and Kyle, more people in the media were honest with themselves about what we had seen from Luka during the course of the regular season, the previous season, and the one before that, this is not a departure from the way that he's played defensively. I think because the stakes are a lot higher now, it's a little bit more visible. But, Wendy said everything that was true. He just said the quiet part out loud. I mean, Luka set a historically bad blow-by rate in Game 2. And you don't need analytics if you know basketball. I mean, there's no defense that says, okay, just let him drive by you. I mean, there's a thing called you shade towards help or you tilt the floor towards the help, but there's no defense that says stand straight up and down and let the guy go around you. There's nothing like that. And I can remember Jason Kidd telling me going back to last year in a game that I did with the Mavericks, he said, Mark, we asked Luka, give me 2.5, 3 seconds of effort. And after 3 seconds, we'll send help if you need help.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's getting to 3 right now. I don't think he's getting to 2 right now. I'm not sure that they're getting past 1.5. And the video kind of tells the story there. And Boston's got all 5 guys that can score. Number 1 historically in offensive rating, number 2 in defense. Mm-hmm. And they just come at you in waves. And all it takes is one guy to compromise the defense, and you activate the blender, and you got them in rotation like rotisserie chicken, man. It's over,
Mark Jones, voice of the Kings. Yeah, you mentioned help defense implies that you're doing something first. If what Luke is doing is you do it defense. I'm not gonna do anything. And what was the frustrating part to me the other night was he had all the bad frustration fouls where he's picking up 4 in the fourth quarter. But with 5, that's with 4 minutes left in a tight ball game. That's when he decides he's going to try and draw a charge. It just it's ugly.
It was not in position. It was weird. Like it felt like the moment was a little big for him there. The poise that we've seen from him throughout the years down the stretch was not there. It felt, if you're going to relate Luka to a certain player, it felt kind of Harden-esque in some of the ways that James hasn't had great fortune in the postseason sometimes, especially at that end of the floor. And when they most needed him for those last 4.5 minutes, he wasn't on the floor. And I'm not sure how you remedy that. Maybe it's just maturity, and maybe he turns the corner at the defensive end. But, you see all the cut-ups on the internet now of him getting blown by. And the best thing is not to put yourself on the film like that. And I know Jason Kidd is honest with him. I think that this has to be, like Wendy alluded to, a little bit of a reckoning for him.
Mark, I feel a little bit bad about the way that that all of the blame, everything is kind of shifted to Luka, and it's not about Luka as much as I think it's taking away a little bit from just how good the Celtics are.
Oh, man.
And the debate here, we keep seeing it change. Now the latest debate is like not whether Tatum and Brown are Batman and Robin, who's Batman, who's Robin, but maybe they're both superheroes. Like, I think that this entire debate just keeps changing, but I think that the Luka distraction has taken away from the greatness that we're seeing from a team that they were better than everybody all year long. We just didn't give them their respect. And now we're seeing it play out like in front of all of us. Like, this is the best team in the league, bar none, and they might be the best team for 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, I agree, James. The thing that really appeals to me about Boston is the fact that their ability to not just score at a historically high offensive rating rate, but defend, number 2 in defense. You've got, at one point during the last couple of games, I saw a sequence where, Drew Holiday was sticking Luka, and Dallas got a switch, and then Derek White, the other all-defensive team member, is picking up Luka. So when you look at what we're trying to do in Sacramento, right, really kind of institute a defensive culture mindset, when you look at Boston and the success they've had on that side of the basketball at that end of the court, it really gives credence to, you just can't lean into offense and expect to win, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work because if you're not guarding people, you'll ultimately get exploited. Now, ultimately, you want the best balance, and Boston has it in spades. I mean, all of their guys, they're so good, they're at the point where you can't figure out, like you said, who their alpha is, right? Is it Tatum? Is it Brown? Drew Holiday, I would argue, for the first couple of games of that series was just as important beyond the stat sheet and the points and the rebounds and assists as anybody else. Here's a guy that defends the ball at one end of the floor, and on the other end of the floor, he's in the dunker spot. Who else does that? I mean, when you put together a conglomerate of versatile players the way they have, they're virtually unbeatable.
Yeah. Talking with Mark Jones, TV voice of the Sacramento Kings. You also hear him all over ESPN. Yeah, man, that's the thing with the Celtics is not only do they execute their defensive game plan almost perfectly on a possession by possession basis, but then they just also have the perfect group of players. Like we were talking about, hey, how can the Kings replicate a little bit of what the Celtics are doing? And it's impossible because there's not that many dudes in the league who can do all those things that they do. You just can't reconstruct this team.
Yeah, I saw. I spoke to a buddy of mine that sent me some video of. He works with Drew in the summertime, and you get a guy like Drew Holiday. He's not in the gym getting up 500 threes every day. He's in the gym working on defense. He's got guys playing. He's playing one-on-one against, practicing his angles, moving his feet, fighting over screens, throwing his hips out. It just takes a special type of player and a group of those type of players to be impactful. And I like the model that the Celtics are creating in the NBA right now, where maybe we're getting away from the super team model. Maybe it's more about having 3, 4, 5 guys that are all in double figures, scoring and can contribute at both ends of the floor. And roster versatility, I would hope at this point, replaces, the old case model that we're coming from.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Outside, you broke some news yesterday. It looks like Sacramento Kings power forward Trey Lyles is going to try out for. It's been invited to Team Canada camp.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have 2 passports still, right? I have a Canadian passport
course.
and an American passport. So when the USA beats Canada, It's USA. Canada beats USA. Canada. I admit, I'm the ultimate homer. It doesn't get any better.
It's fine. It's fine. You can do that.
Canadian.
You can do that when you have 2 passports. That's fine. That's right.
Dual citizenship is a great thing. But yeah, Trey's, he's been in the gym in Sacramento for the last 3 weeks. Prior to that, been working out in Los Angeles. And he's really familiar with the offense that Basketball Canada is going to run, because Jordy runs pretty much the same stuff that we run in Sacramento with the 5 out, the 4 that they call the base offense. And, now there's, James, you know this too. They've got a part of the offense that we have in Sacramento called a Canada cut. When the guy cuts through and on the dribble handoff, dribble towards the wing, the guy cuts through. That's called a Canada cut. So now there's literally going to be a Canada cut in the Canadian team offense. But the competition at his spot is going to be pretty tight when you look at, Ken Birch, Olynyk. They've got some pretty talented stretch bigs, even though I think that Trey should make it. He would have played last year too, except for the fact, he had the pending free agency, and sometimes guys don't want to mess with that kind of situation. Just like Valanciunas, he's not playing for Lithuania this year. And it's going to be a deal where, Kyle's he's going there with Trey Law's going there with a clear head, great body, healthy, and I would guess that he's going to make the squad. Canada's in a very tough group, but the familiarity that he has with Jordy is really going to pay off for him.
I can't wait for this summer. I'm so excited for the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker. I want to watch this Team USA team so bad.
Yeah,
I know there are people who want to see the younger guys and whatnot, but no, I'm here for it. Give me all these legends one more time.
I'm with you, Kyle. I'm with you. I want to see. Steph has never played in the Olympics. I watched him play in the World Championships once before. Watched him play on the FIBA under-19 team once before, but never in the Olympics. And I think they've got a really good blend of guys. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about Embiid. I would expect that he's going to play, and I think that was our weakness the last time out in the World Championships. We didn't have a big that could compete with some of the other bigs, and guys that could stay in front of other people. That's why Drew Holiday was so important in the last Olympic gold medal that USA Basketball won. So I'm like you, man. I don't care what the time zone difference is. I'm up watching those games at every moment.
All right, Mark, we can't keep you all day, but we do have this Sabonis swapping numbers story. He's going from number 10 that he's worn in Sacramento for the last couple of years to number 11. Certainly, it has a great deal of meaning to him and his family. His dad wore number 11. His daughter's named 11. Just what do you make of this? And, even maybe the idea of retired numbers and how they should be treated.
Man, it's interesting. Under David Stern's older NBA, you remember you had to file an application to change your number. And I'm not sure they've given a lot of, levity to that. They bypassed that procedure and kind of overlooked it of late. Guys have, Dame Lillard last year got to wear his number in Milwaukee. And, you have guys exchanging numbers now, sometimes at a price. So I think the NBA's backed off on that, which I have no problem with that. I understand the whole merchandising argument with the league, and you've got certain licenses that you have to stick to a certain formula. But I'm happy for Domas, and I think it's fantastic that he's doing that to honor his family, in particular his dad. Who Hall of Famer, legend of the game, and I know that Domas is. Overseas working out, getting ready for the world champ for the Olympics. Putting in work, getting ready for the Lithuania training camp.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Doug in Spain.
Yes.
Tough life. Yeah.
Where can we get one of the gigs? Eating some good paella after training, right?
That sounds so good now.
You know what? I will fall on this sword. I will go to Spain and play basketball for money.
I
will do that.
I'll go there and just be like their social media guy. Like, okay, that sounds good to me.
I would love that. I would love that.
Mark Jones, thank you so much for taking some time out of your offseason to hang out with us. We'll do it again soon. All right.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. See you.